Hi everyone, welcome back to my art channel. Today I'm very excited to share with you all the start of my 5-part multi-canvas project. I'll be sharing with you all the beginning of this painting from start to finish. So first of all, I got myself some Joe and the Juice, a nice spicy tuna sandwich and a smoothie to get my creative brain ready for this project. After that, I opened up my sketchbook, got my paper ready, grabbed my pencil, and I just started sketching out some thumbnail sketches. These thumbnail sketches can be really helpful to figure out what you want your end results to look like and to give you more of an idea of what you want to create on your canvas. I was quite happy with my first sketch, so I'm sticking to that one and I'm not making more. I almost always write a couple little notes on my thumbnail sketches as it helps me remember certain key elements that I want to keep in my sketch. After I'm done thumbnail sketching, it's time to prep the canvas. I'm using gesso to prime my canvas and to give it more of a smooth finished texture. I add a baking sheet underneath for easy cleanup. I start adding a layer of gesso by just brushing it on top and making sure the surface is covered evenly. To make the drying process a bit faster, I just use a hairdryer. Let's see how many paint layers we'll add. Once I'm done adding enough paint layers, I'll use sanding paper to sand down the surface for a smooth and even texture. After that, I clean up my workstation. I then go ahead and transfer my thumbnail sketches onto the canvas. I tend to always add more details onto the canvas itself rather than the thumbnail sketches. The sketches are really just there to kind of put me into the mood of what the vibe of the artwork is going to be like, and I always end up with something a bit different than my thumbnails. The vibe that I'm trying to go for in this first artwork of my project is the hopeful and childlike beginning of change and starting your journey. I'm creating little toad eggs to show how my toad creatures begin and evolve. The theme of change and going through the uncomfortable will be a big part of each and every artwork that I will create in this series. Once I'm done with my sketch, I grab an eraser and just very lightly erase some of the thicker lines. This helps avoid any pencil smudges when painting. Once I'm done transferring my sketch onto the canvas, I go ahead and use a fixative spray to seal in my sketch. This also helps prevent any smudging and keeps your sketch intact. I then grab and prep my wet stab palette, which is a special palette that keeps acrylic paints and any other paints wet, and it makes it so that you can actually save your paints for a couple of weeks. I get my brushes and water ready, and then I grab my golden acrylic paints. Make sure to also grab some kitchen paper towels as it will help you with paint cleanup. I always love mixing in my paints for the first time for a new artwork. It always feels so satisfying. Now it's finally time to start painting. Just have fun with this process and explore with colors. I sometimes struggle with the beginning parts of painting because I tend to doubt my process and I often have to push myself through this so-called ugly painting stage. The ugly painting stage is when your painting kind of looks like... because it's just the rough fill-in of your sketch and stuff like that, but it's a necessary stage to get through because once you get through the ugly painting stage, that's when your work just gets to the next level and it all finally comes together and really starts to shine. Life kind of is like that too, I guess. I promise you, push through and your art is going to look much better. Painting, I always tend to listen to music or watch TV shows and movies that I've already watched. What about you? Let me know what you like to do when painting. Do you like to also have something in the background, or are you more someone who likes to really focus on what you're doing in the moment with no other distractions? Leave a comment down below. This little world that I'm creating is basically up in the sky, but at the same time, it's also underwater and in the clouds. The physics and the worlds that are in my art universe are very strange and weird, and I hope to create many more of these. Now that I'm finally done painting everything, it's time to paint on the line art. For that, I'm using Molotov markers. I really like using Molotov markers as their paint markers are really nice and saturated, plus they work extremely well. I also use Posca markers sometimes. They are really great too, but my preference definitely is for Molotov markers. Which one do you prefer? Now it's time to fill in the line art and have fun with the process. This, for me, honestly, is my most favorite part about making an artwork, is adding the line art to it at the end. It feels, for me, like my artwork finally comes together, like it's finally at the finish line. I'm happy to finally say that the first artwork of my 5-part canvas project is finally done. I'm very happy with how this turned out. It definitely took longer than I expected, but to be fair, it has also been like 28 to 29 degrees Celsius here, and I don't work well on heat. Other than that, I'm very pleased with the results and cannot wait to work on the next one. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this first piece and what you might expect the other pieces to look like. Thank you all so much for joining me on this very first part of my artistic journey and the first part of this big project that I'm doing. I cannot wait to start on the other paintings with you all. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more art content and art inspiration. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this video, what you'd like to see next, and if you're excited for part 2. See you in the next video. Don't forget, keep creating and stay hydrated.